Melissa. So Brody won't be with us tonight. My sister-in-law had a appointment at 5:30 that she could not get out of, so he is at home on children duty.
Yar, me hearty. How you doing, Chris?
I feel like shit.
Are you sick?
Yeah. I came down with something Wednesday night. It's it's like a really bad cold, and I'm mostly over the symptoms of that. It's just I'm like exhausted, just tired.
Well, that's to be expected, man. You got a lot of feels coming in and out this week, don't you?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, it's been a busy week. So we are expanding our game repertoire. We will be sometime in the very near future. We will be beginning a 2-hour Wednesday night weekly game of Traveler. We've got 3 players signed up for that so far. Kind of waiting for. I don't want to start it until. Excuse me, until the other groups, your group and the Saturday night group, have a chance to play their one-off, because...
Well, I can tell you right now, Chris, I totally want to throw my hat in the ring and totally want to throw Liam's hat out of the ring.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to play Wednesday night, like I said, it's going to be 7 to 9. It is online only. So it's a bulk.
I am totally down with that. I just kind of want to mix it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Give it a little more flavor.
Yeah. So yeah, you are more than welcome. Like I said, I'm going to wait until the other 2 groups have a chance to play, to see if how they feel about it, and whether or not they want to join. The reason why it's a 2-hour game is because it is in the middle of the week, so it's on a school night, and I know a lot of people have to get up and do the whole work thing on Thursday.
Yeah, we got children, we got cars tomorrow, got things to go on. I'm in the middle of finals week right now.
Right. So yeah,
because I'm a languages major, I've got 3 finals in each class. I'm only taking 2 classes, one in German and one in Japanese. And each class has 3 finals. One for writing, one for speaking and listening and having like an actual real-time interview in the language. And then the other one is like a reading and writing, like written exam sort of test.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm only taking 2 classes. I have 6 fucking finals, man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, so...
Language learning is a whole different thing, So there's a big performance issue, for language learning. You gotta be able to perform.
Right.
To make that language come out your mouth.
Right.
in real time.
Right. So yeah, the Wednesday night game will be 2 hours, and the other reason for doing the other two groups is because you will already have a character made, and so that character can easily just pop over into the campaign night and move forward. And the nice thing about that is that from a role play standpoint, all of the characters will have various different backgrounds of where they've been and what they've done that they can bring to the group. And so yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And with 2 hours, that's enough. We can do a little bite-sized, little sci-fi jaunt, each week, and do a continuing storyline that isn't going to, break us as far as time. The one thing that I've noticed with the 4-hour campaigns is that it is really hard it's difficult to set up those campaigns at 4 hours, because that's a lot of material that you have to prep, and you have to be able to gauge, exactly how long that's going to be. A 3-hour game is pretty easy to do, but 4 hours.
Your players might decide to ignore all of the plot points and go straight through your dungeon.
That happens.
They might decide to explore every single plot point and take 3 extra sessions for that dungeon that you planned.
Exactly. So 4 hours is kind of difficult, because if you go by the DMG, that's 4 hours compared to a 3-hour game. That's 7 more encounters that they're expecting out of the DMG, and that's just if you go by by the letter of the law, and I usually don't, but I mean it is a good indicator, although I don't know very many groups that can get through 7 encounters in an hour, but So Carl's, there's Carl.
I've definitely joined the pace lately.
Yeah, the pace has been pretty good lately. I'm looking at that this weekend. Actually, tomorrow night, the Saturday night group starts their session 0 for Traveler, and Saturday afternoon's group is starting an entirely new D&D game, or a whole new campaign. They are going to be running through Tyranny of Dragons, and so they're going to be all level 1 characters. So yeah, getting sick Wednesday night was kind of at an inopportune time, but then again, I don't really think that it's ever a good time to get ill. So before we get started, we will go ahead and thank the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. The first on the list, if you are watching on Twitch and you scroll down, you should see some tiles there. If you do not, click on my profile image and those tiles should pop up. The first on our list is TNC, that stands for Talon Claw. They make beautiful wooden tabletop accessories such as dice trays, dice vaults, DM screens, drink coasters. They have a new line of cutting boards, charcuterie boards, if you like to serve a meat and cheese tray at your games. These are the cutting boards that you are going to want to look at. And he does absolutely wonderful work. He does take a little bit of time, especially if you have any custom work done to it, because he can do custom engraving and laser etch work and things like that. But definitely check them out. Next on the list is the Speechless Bard. She makes wonderful handmade leather products for like book covers for your core rule books, and she has a full line of dice bracelets. She has a leather dice scroll that rolls out and makes a dice mat. Absolutely beautiful work, all hand stitched, handmade, everything. Definitely check her out as well. And last on the list is Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard Company makes beard products such as oils, balms, butters, co-wash, the whole 9 yards. for the bearded individual. And each scent profile is a different fantasy character. Tonight I am wearing the hero, which is a warm cologne with a rich tobacco scent. And it is actually very nice. It would be great for going out like on a date or going out to dinner with your wife. So I would highly recommend checking them out. I don't think they have any sales going on right now, but they do have a deal that if you are a first-time purchaser, they have a buy one, get one free for your first purchase. Where we left off last week, let's see here. You guys had gone into, you were down on the Shadowdusk hold level. And this is a very strange level that you have discovered. So when you first got here, it looks for all the world like somebody had recreated a manor house down near the bottom of Undermountain. And
I got a question.
Yeah.
Is it shadow dust as in dusting, or shadow dusk as in the sun going down?
As in the sun going down.
Dusk. Okay, cool. I was just trying to figure out the spelling on that one.
No worries. But you ran into, there's some very strange things going on down here. You can hear whispers just at the very edge of your hearing. You have run into a number of Nothics. In fact, you have a Nothic with you right now that is following you around and has promised to he has told you that on each tier, and he says that Shadowdusk Hold is 3 tiers, 3 levels, it's in and of itself, and that each tier has a secret room, and that he knows where they all are, and he will show you them, and he has been following you around. And you, part of that, he led you to a room where you met a woman named Melissara Shadowdusk, and she tells you that the Shadowdusk family, let's see, to be exact, she tells you that the Shadowdusk family was originally a noble family up in Waterdeep, and they fled Waterdeep and came down here along about 1355. It is now 1492, and when they came down here, they recreated Shadowdusk, their mansion down here, and named it Shadowdusk Hold. And the reason why they had to flee is that one of their members was corrupted by access to the Far Realm, and that this has kind of spread to other members of the family. All members of the Shadowdusk family have, to some extent, been corrupted by the Far Realm to the best of her knowledge. The damage is irreparable. Other family members living in Shadowdusk Hold include Melissara's 3 cousins, the wizards Berlain, Cassiak, and Vertrand. She tells you that Desmir and Zalthar are Death Knights that dwell on the lower tiers of Shadowdusk Hold. Contact with the Far Realm has given Desmir the ability to warp reality to a limited extent. Zalthar has shown no such ability, but she wields a sword that drains souls. And the lowest tier of Shadowdusk Hold is home to a blue Dracolich in league with the 2 Death Knights. She knows that the Dracolich's phylactery is hidden somewhere in Shadowdusk Hold, but she does not know where. She also tells you that her husband, so in this room, 10A here, in this room there is a curtain right here, and she tells everybody that her husband is in 10B, and he has succumbed to the madness of the Far Realm, and she implores you to just leave him be, because he can be rather violent. And the Nothic golem, who she says is named, let me see here. She knows who he is. He was a wizard's apprentice named Ramagant, who served Bertrand Shadowdusk, and because of prolonged access to the Far Realm, he was turned into a Nothic, and so he's the one who's been leading you, and he led Aaron into Area 11 there, which is Melissara's study, and there is a long bookcase with glass doors that takes up the north wall. There's a writing desk covered in stacks of parchment, and a workbench near the south wall that holds a set of alchemist supplies. And that is where we left off. Now, Ramagant, the Golem Nothic, he moves over here and starts scratching at the wall, saying that there's a secret door there. So that's where we left off.
Telfar wants to address Milady.
Okay. What would you...
Please, Milady, do forgive our friend scratching at the wall over there, but he has promised to show us all of the hidden rooms. Do you, I don't know, have any problem with us taking a look about?
She does not have any problem with that at all. So Melissara is rather melancholy about the whole thing. She is aware that access to the Far Realm and even living down here for so long, not that she herself has accessed the Far Realm or cast any spells dealing with it, but being down here and being in its proximity, she realizes that she has been touched as well. She knows that the damage is irreparable, and she has implored you to...
A woman of very strong will, shall we say. She's still fighting it.
Right, and she's implored with you to do what you can to basically put an end to the Shadowdusk family down here. She realizes, I mean, there was a discussion last session about, perhaps getting her out of here would help her. She realizes that that's impossible, but she wants to make sure that you put an end to whatever evil is down here, and that may include her family as well.
In that case, Telfar wants to send a message cantrip.
Okay.
The message will be something along the lines of, "My lady, you must understand that you and even your mate are touched.
Mm-hmm.
Would you sacrifice yourself in the act of cleansing?"
Most certainly, and it is because of that that she has no problem with you opening and closing secret doors or going anywhere that you want to go. Do whatever it is that you have to do to put an end to this. It is her hope that in so doing, not only will you put an end to the Shadowdusk family, but you would close whatever rift that is open to the Far Realm itself, if you have a way of doing so that you would take that time and to close that rift. Nothing good can come of it.
So I guess Telfar's message reply would be something along the lines of, "My dear lady, include you in putting everything to rest?
That's a really good question.
I don't want to kill her. I don't want to cause her any kind of trauma. But if she were to willingly give herself up and offer up the end of her lineage, then perhaps we can do a very swift but ritualistic mercy killing.
Ew.
I know, it's touchy business. That's why Telfar is like whispering to her via mental message.
She didn't really have it in mind she hasn't really thought about her death. It was her idea was to live her and her husband to just continue to live down here in self-imposed exile. If you put an end to the rest of the Shadowdusk family, which is they were evil before they were insane. So
we're talking about everyone but her, or her included?
Essentially everyone but her. She's essentially Melissara is a distant, fourth or fifth cousin. But she knows that just having been down here, that it is inevitable that she's going to lose her faculties, as her husband already has. And she was of the mind to just, her and her husband, live out their madness down here by themselves in self-imposed exile. The others, having been fairly evil in the first place, have no such compunction. And so what she wants is for you to put a stop to them and to close access to the Far Realm for all time, so that doesn't affect anybody else. And she's happy to just completely lose her mind and live down here.
I think that Telfar would like to suggest an alternative to going mad forever.
Okay. What's your alternative?
And he would like to suggest an alternative to her that, of course, we will close the rift. We will stop the madness. But if you truly feel that there is no redemption for you, then please allow us to conduct a ceremony.
A Kevorkian?
Just something that, like if there's any way to redeem her soul, and I think there is, because she's not okay with all the corruption.
Right.
That if there's any way for our clerics to maybe send her off with a good recommendation from some god, that maybe her afterlife could be more pleasant.
Make a persuasion.
And we could conduct a ceremony to send her on her way, and her husband too.
This just sounds so Jim Jones.
Here, drink this Kool-Aid. Yeah. So let's see. Let me put everybody.
So what's the DC to overcome fear of death?
Well, I think that's more of a personal decision. I don't necessarily know there's a DC of it. Make a persuasion check, and let's see.
Will I be able to cast a wish to teleport her into the Troll Skull Manor with any and all traces of corruption gone?
I got a 22 on my roll to convince her to just let us send her on.
So she, having listened to Telfar and you are making perfect sense. She agrees that is probably for the best. She tells you that her husband Darian will not go. He will not go quietly. There's no way that he would agree to this. He is far more along than she is in the madness. But
Telfar would like to ask Norte to provide a feast with his big keg hammer,
okay,
and that we will have the biggest feast in honor of her husband.
okay,
And the idea is to invite her and her husband and have a great time. Telfar is willing to do acrobatics and all kinds of silly bard stuff in order to make it a special occasion. And his suggestion is that we create a feast and have kind of a last day.
okay. But she again tells you that Darian is in this chamber to the north. He's not going to go along with this. In fact, Darian. So Darian, for the most part, acts as Melissara's bodyguard. He follows her whenever she leaves. He follows her and makes sure that she comes to no harm. And he has become obsessive in that regard. So
Telfar volunteers to go have a chat.
okay. Hold on here.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm taking over the RP at the beginning of this session.
I like it.
Yeah, keep on doing it.
Good.
My apologies to everyone. You're very indulgent.
Well, I'm in there looking at all the books, trying to figure out if there's any connection to how
We
a rift was opened.
absolutely want to steal all of her books. We just need like a legit permission to do so.
Yeah, and she.
I don't need to steal her books. I have all of that. That's in my artifact.
True.
Telfar's goal is to kind of contain this area, I guess. Convince them that it's time to move on. And I'm hoping that I can do that with my suggestion spell and my high bard charisma.
Yeah. I think the husband is going to be like a psychotic monster beast Joker character.
Well, if I can get 10 minutes of non-combat talk with him.
Maybe if you were invisible and pretended you were the voices in his head.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so Telfar, you want to go past the curtain up into Darian's private chamber and have a chat with him?
But before I do so, I'm going to cast the spell, Disguise Self.
Okay.
Because I decided that my mask was not going to work as a attunement item.
Okay.
So I took the spell Disguise Self instead.
Okay.
Is Telfar letting anybody else know what? Because I'm in the secret room looking at the book
Yeah.
clues.
So,
Telfar will absolutely let everyone know what his plan is. And he says, well, look, I want to go and talk to this guy. You know, I understand he risk upon myself. And with my disguise spell, I'd like to try to copy her nose.
Okay.
And I'd like to copy the shape of her face, but not the individual features except for the nose.
Okay. Okay.
And Telfar will take the time to adjust his stilts so that he can be the right size for someone who is a member of Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to look like a perhaps a long lost cousin, somebody who replicates the facial features of somebody who's a member of the family, a member of the household.
I got you. So you're trying to mimic familial traits rather than individual person.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't want to look like anyone in particular. I just want to look like I might be related.
Okay.
I'll aid with guidance for the disguise, and just before you enter, I'll give you 1 minute of bless. I think that's how long that lasts, so that you can gain a little edge, possibly.
Okay. So while you're fiddling with your spell and getting your looks just right, Aaron, you find there are 3 texts in the library that appear to be of everything in here focuses on evocation magic and planar travel, but there are 3 books in particular that look like they are notable. They are valued at about at 100 gold pieces each. They are Tenebris and the True Path to Lichdom, Musings of a Planar Traveler, and Touched by the Far Realm, a Wizard's Lamentable Descent into Lunacy.
Say that last one again.
Touched by the Far Realm, a Wizard's Lamentable Descent into Lunacy.
Uh-huh.
And you can go ahead and make a investigation check.
All right. I have advantage on that using the book. This looks like, yeah, and if I'm actually doing it, I'll go ahead and use guidance, which would give me a 30.
Okay. So you've
I have time to prep.
in amongst these 3 books, or in the general vicinity of them, you also find a spell book that bears the Shadowdusk family crest, which is a torch with 3 embers burning off of it. And it appears to be Melissara's spell book.
And spell books are not found in the Library of Alexandria because they're magical.
Right.
So that is something to. I'll look at.
I'm
I'll
putting
go
the
through there.
spell book in the list.
Oh yeah, but in terms of clues, I'm gonna scan to see the types of spells here, particularly anything that might be high level, opening gates to far realms or.
So you determine by looking through her spell book that Melissara is indeed an archmage. There is a 7th level teleport spell. Hold on here.
You say?
Yeah, the presence of 10th level magic is terrifying.
There is the time stop spell.
Yeah, this is hurting my brain just to read the headings of these spells.
But nothing in particular that would that you're seeing that would be something that would open a gate to another plane or anything like that. Dimension door is probably the closest thing.
You said there was a 10th level teleport?
No, 7th level.
Oh, okay. All right. Phew. I was gonna flip my lid. Okay, so this looks like very powerful wizardy stuff,
Right.
but nothing that has creepy crawly tentacles coming out of it or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
No, for the most part, her spellbook is rather... I mean, it's a spellbook, but it's rather mundane as far as... it is exactly what you would expect a archmage to have.
Right. Not custom, not weird writings in the margins of craziness. Just pretty straightforward.
No, but on the desk, you do find a notebook. Let's see here. It is a small black journal. The first page of the book starts with basically scribbling in a circular pattern, and it goes all through the book, detailing her unease with her family as well as her growing fear of losing her mind and soul to the far realm. And it seems like she's pretty desperate to use her writings in the journal as a touchstone to her own mind.
Okay.
Telfar has a question.
Uh-huh.
As Telfar has been putting together his disguise
Yeah.
and properly adjusting his stilts,
Uh-huh.
he would like to ask Lady Melissara Shadowdusk about her wedding day. Not the wedding night, the wedding day.
She
The intention is that Telfar would like to use the details of their wedding day to persuade her husband. The idea is I'd like to get some details about the wedding day, and then when Telfar goes to persuade her husband, he wants to tell him something about like it being the anniversary or something.
Okay.
The anniversary of the day, and he wants to bring up all of these nice things that happened.
Okay, so...
And the point is to get him to come to the feast. The feast would be in 10A,
Okay.
and the idea is to persuade the crazy guy to come out of 10B and come down and celebrate his wedding anniversary, which is fake. But Telfar wants that it kind of, reimagine the event. So he's drilling Lady Melisandre about details and what they had to eat, what they had to drink, what the next song might be.
Happy memories that are connected.
So she
Happy
gives you the basic description of it was obviously a noble highborn wedding, and she describes some of the events that took place there. That's a pretty good disguise. So you're going to have advantage on your persuasion checks against Darian. And so you come into Darian's room, and you see a middle-aged man with a scarred face, and he's pacing about the room anxiously. There's a simple bed to the west, a dresser filled with clothes to the east, and there's a weapons and armor rack. And you come in. What do you say when you walk in?
My lord, we are awaiting you for the anniversary feast.
Go ahead and make your persuasion check at advantage.
I'm gonna do it on roll 20, so.
Okay.
And this would be a roll that you might have advantage. The advantage of bless, because It does last a minute.
Right, so you can add a +4 to that.
Yeah, if you're going to talk for 10 minutes, you're not going to get all of it, but this one, if you're doing right off the bat, you should get another D4.
You said persuasion, right?
Yes.
And we're getting some guidance.
Yes.
Plus 1d4.
Interesting.
And I'm gonna roll it again. Because advantage. So I got a 20.
Okay. Hold on here.
Also, persuasion is something that I have expertise on.
Right, so you get to add double your proficiency bonus.
Double my proficiency bonus.
So add another 6.
My proficiency bonus is 5, so I'll add another 5. So it's either 25 or 24.
I think your proficiency bonus at this point should be 6. We got a level bump.
Yep.
But I took my next level in Bard.
Don't think that matters.
Proficiency bonus is based on character level.
Oh.
So if you were
So many
using...
things I don't know. So many things I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how many classes you are. You could have like 2 in everything. You would
Yeah.
still count your
I
level.
thought I was just taking my maximum proficiency bonus in whatever was my maximum class.
Ah, yes.
So what's your charisma
Man,
bonus?
I'm gonna need to change all my damn rolls
Well, that's
now.
what I was going to say is your charisma bonus is how much?
Charisma is +2.
So you should have a plus 14.
That's great. And I can also take 10 on it because I'm proficient. So I have a minimum of 24.
Okay.
Right.
So you come in and Darian, you are introducing yourself and telling him that you want him to come down to the feast for the anniversary, and he turns, and when he looks at you, he is clearly, you can see the madness in his eyes, and he's literally grinding his teeth and drooling at how angry he is at an interloper. I don't think that could get much worse, but no. He looks at you and recognizes that you are a member of the family, but he says, you are clearly a part of the Shadowdusk family. I can see it in your face. I don't think I've ever met you.
No, I think you're right, my good lord, sir. I wasn't able to attend the actual wedding ceremony, but I'm a cousin of your cousin Giselda Shadowdusk, and I'm here to make up for lost time. I really regret that I wasn't able to make the wedding, but I'm more than happy to celebrate this great. What is it, 20 years now? 30? My goodness, you guys have been together forever, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Make a deception check.
Can do.
He says, Well, we haven't been married that long. And he says, but since you are clearly a part of the family, I will come with you to this feast. And he agrees and starts to follow you.
Oh, but sir, we can't have you showing up in a state like this. Would you allow me to offer you a shave?
I developed my skills in Seville.
So, what are you talking about? I look fine.
Ah, you do, Lord. You do. You look regal, but you grow a little bit long around the ears.
Make a persuasion check. He sits down in a chair and says, "All right, we'll get on with it."
It would be my pleasure, Lord. It's such a lovely face to shave. Honestly, it's really, truly my honor to shave a face with such fine, noble curves. So, at what point could I perform a coup de grace?
I will allow you to make so what are you using to shave? I assume some kind of dagger.
Yeah, of course.
You can make your first attack with advantage, and it will be a critical no matter what.
Okay.
That'd be nice. You get 16d6 of sneak damage.
Right.
His family must be, reasonably nice, because just because someone's family, I don't know that I would trust them or like them automatically.
Right, exactly.
So I rolled with advantage, and I have a 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits. So go ahead and roll critical for your damage and your sneak attack damage. All damage is doubled.
My dagger is poisoned.
Okay.
It gets
So that damage is doubled as well.
It's a con save versus 2d10 poison.
Okay.
DC 15.
He gets a 15 exactly. If this doesn't kill him, he's gonna go ape shit.
Oh yeah. And just let you know, Aaron, who is at the slightly open secret door, waiting for things to go south, is very aware of the missus after having seen that she's pretty crazy as herself.
Right.
So, just in case she doesn't just lay back and die.
She's just sane enough to realize that she's going nuts.
Alright, so Telfar just went Demon Barber of Fleet Street for about 33 damage.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So
No. You have double that, because you only rolled 8d6.
Right, so 66 damage and a DC 15 con save versus 2d10 poison.
right, and he got a 15, so he's safe.
Pass that.
Okay. So you run the dagger across his throat fairly deeply.
You need to say oops when that happens.
And he immediately jumps up out of the chair, and everybody needs to roll initiative. He's not going to tolerate that.
I tried, guys. I tried.
He jumps up out of the chair and yells, "Perfidy!" But he only gets a 9.
You must be related to Lionel's side of the family. They're all bastards. I hate them.
All right, you guys can put in your initiatives.
I put my initiative in.
So let's see, we got no Thrick this week. Okay. All right. Okay, so between Norate and Telfar, which one of you wants to go first? I'm thinking that it's going to be Telfar because she's already there.
If it has anything to do with this guy, I think I'm on the spot.
Yeah. So as soon as he jumps up out of the chair and yells "Perfidy!" and the Nothic is like, "Oh shit!" and he opens up the secret door and bolts in here and hides behind this curtain. Cancel. What would you like to do? You hear this.
Outraged.
Yeah.
Scream.
Yeah, and the yell almost sounds animalistic. So what would you like to do?
I shall...
You can just tell Lady so-and-so everything's fine. Our associate is dealing with it.
Yeah, you can see that Melissara is wringing her hands and she says, "Oh, poor Darian." But she doesn't get up. She is resolute in that Telfar has convinced her that this is the correct course of action. And she's already fully aware of just how violently dangerous and insane her husband is. So, I mean, she warned you guys.
In that case, I'm just gonna step up to the center and fling a firebolt.
Okay. Go for it.
I am not going to hit with that one. Am I?
No, you are not.
Your fingertip explodes.
Yes. The end of your fingertip explodes like the old joking exploding cigarettes. On a nat 1. Oh man. Fuck. You point your finger to cast Firebolt, but
Room starts on fire.
no, actually worse than that.
Oh.
Man, you are so lucky. So yeah, I guess you miss, and yeah, the bed in the room ignites, and now 10B it goes up big. Like it obviously is a straw mattress and is now a raging inferno in the room. I was gonna say if Firebolt required material components, you were gonna reach into your component pouch and realize that you're completely out of material components, but it does not. It's only verbal and semantic. So that
I have a spell focus, which means I don't have to worry about
right. That's yeah.
Don't require.
So yeah, the bed is now on fire, and it will continue to grow and expand in the following rounds. Is there anything that Cancel wants to do with a bonus action or movement?
I will apologize for her bed.
As a bonus action.
Well, it's his bed. Yeah, it's his bed. Evidently, they've been sleeping in separate beds for a while.
Oh. Might need to get in
I
bed.
think an apology is a free action.
Free action. Yes.
Yes. You can talk it as a free action, so apologies are a free action.
Yeah, but I don't have anything else to do.
It depends. Is it like a normal person's apology, or is it like a Dr. Phil apology? Because some of those things can take like a half an hour.
I'm just saying, maybe you could use the rest of your movement to take a knee. That's the joke, haha.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, my bad. Didn't light him on fire. At least the bed stopped it. Telfar, so the bed's on fire. What would you like to do?
Telfar would like to go, sir, your shave's not complete yet.
Yeah, he's not buying that. He is now beyond being reasoned with as blood is pouring down his neck.
But Chris, describe it to me. Has he gotten out of his chair?
Oh, yeah.
Is he threatening me?
Yeah, he is fully standing up. He hasn't grabbed you or anything yet. And Telfar being nimble and quick of foot, he stands up, and Telfar probably stepped back and it dropped into a combat crouch, into a stance. What would you like to do?
Telfar says the command word as a free action, fly. And he flies over here to this side of the room with his movement.
Okay.
And he says, it's for your own good. And lines up a drow poison bolt.
Okay. Go ahead and make your shot.
I'm gonna make the shot. I'm just checking. It's a DC 13 con save versus sleep.
Okay. Huh.
$21 to hit.
Yes. Go ahead and roll your damage.
No sneak attack because he knows where I is.
Right.
Wait, that's not right. I'm getting lag. Oh, okay. 14.
Okay.
And the DC save.
He only gets a 10, and the bolt hits him, and he gets a slack-jawed look on his face and falls face first onto the floor. Unconscious.
Awesome. With the rest of my movement, I'm going to move to here and be all like, chopping at the neck, like, no thank you.
Okay. So, Norite, you can see smoke rolling and flame rolling out of the room behind Telfar. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go and run up to him, and I can make it fast, and I will,
Inflict wounds.
Sure.
I mean, why mess with a winning formula?
So you're going to run up to him and do inflict wounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fifth level.
Okay. It is because he is unconscious, and it is, and he is prone. So you have advantage on the attack, and it is going to count as a critical.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so I have, I'm sure that already hits, but I have 29 to hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a critical, so roll
Yep.
gobs of dice.
Yep, double damage.
So, Chris, do you care if people roll twice the dice versus multiplying by 2?
I don't care. I mean, rules as written is to roll double the amount of dice. A lot of times when the few times that I have been able to play, I usually just multiply by 2 because it's just easier. But
Yeah.
there are people who insist. They're like, well, what if I roll better the second time? Like, okay, yeah, what if you roll worse? I mean, quite literally, you have a 50-50 chance of rolling worse.
So it looks like, what, 90 points of damage?
Yeah. So, yeah, you reach down and you grab him, and your inflict wounds courses through him, and poor Darian Shadowdusk withers and dies.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kill all the glory.
No, that was good.
The room, however, is still on fire.
Yeah, so Aaron's gonna roll a luck dice here. So this over 10 is good. So okay, so I kick the chicken over to the to the bed and say, "Make yourself useful." And my luck says no. The chicken just flips me off with a wing and proceeds to ignore me while I go over there and try to put the fire out.
Okay. Make a dexterity save, and we'll see if you can douse the flames.
It's like a 26.
Yeah, so you grab the bowl of water that Telfar was using to shave Darian, and you are able to douse the flames between the water and patting it down with blankets. You were able to get the fire put out. And Melissara is sitting in her chair in her room down in 10A, and just is sobbing at the loss of her husband. And she
trying to put out the flames on her husband.
She says, "This is not what I had in mind. This isn't what I envisioned at all."
Telfar, you need to come out here and console the lady.
Yeah.
And Aaron will step behind the curtain and do a quick prestidigitation to try to get traces of blood off of Telfar.
Okay.
So that, we don't
Sure.
have...
And
Telfar will respond with, "My lady, he died a hero's death, and it is only fitting that you two join each other in the afterworld. We can make it painless, we can do it in your sleep, but such a noble warrior deserves a noble wife."
make a persuasion check.
Please die for me.
Right?
I want to do this to like high-level dragons and stuff. Let's get some XP out of this.
I'll take a 10 plus 6 for 16.
Okay. You were able to convince her. She continues to sob, and she says, "This is just not what I. This is not what I thought it was going to be. But at least we'll be able to be together in the afterlife."
We should have the feast. We should dance. We should honor her. And then at the end, we should lay her down.
Okay.
And cast some kind of sleep spell on her.
Okay.
And we can make it very painless. We celebrate her life. We celebrate her legacy. And we lay her down in honor with her mate.
Okay.
I'll whisper to Telfar, I don't think this meal thing is going to work too well. She seems kind of upset that her husband's a bloody wreck.
Right? I will be right back.
Shut up and have another turkey wing.
I will be right back.
Did you use your dagger to carve this? Is this sanitary?
Use your own dagger, by all means. Mine's got beard all over it, and blood. Beard, though. Oh, you can't get beard off.
That's what prestidigitation's for. Clean that sucker.
I really appreciate you guys all indulging me.
we tried this on Alistair Blackcloak and see if we can talk him into killing himself.
I'm just saying, these motherfuckers got loot and you know it. They got loot. I'm helping getting them out of the way so we can have the loot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and prestidigitate this bloody mess in here and kind of lay him out with his arms crossed and, you know.
Absolutely, we need to make it as honorable and as clean as possible to help with our, help with our situation.
I've investigated this because I was a guard, city guard, and I've tuned my prestidigitation so that it removes DNA evidence and fingerprints. So, not only is it making it all look good, the client cracks.
That's twice, bro. That's twice.
Won't come back to haunt us.
Yeah, and if it does, I'll just leave a feather somewhere and we'll pretend it's Jarlaxle's
Jarlaxle's fault. Every day.
Jarlaxle was here. Just spray painted on every wall, everywhere we go.
That bastard. He follows us, killing everybody that we meet. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, how did you do that? End up at every place we're gonna be right before we get there, just in time to scribble some graffiti and take all the loot. Yeah. I'm not to get Jarlaxle a bad name. That's a personal RP thing.
I like it. He's out to get us. That's our official. We're being stalked and harassed by Jarlaxle.
Well, I tell you what, while Chris isn't here, I got the whole layout of the Earth Moat.
Oh, nice.
I did a big screen cap and everything. So I'm just gonna start being all like, this is your room, this is your room, this is the room.
We need some craftsmen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is gonna be like this big giant, I don't know, Playboy Mansion or something, whatever the hell it is. We need furniture, and we need craftsmen and cooks and servants to keep it clean and all that jazz.
Okay. I say we keep all the pools, though. Man, you know what a bitch it is to fill in a pool?
Oh, no. I like the pool.
Yeah, we gotta keep pools.
We need some under lighting so that the pools are lit with nice
to purify that shit. You know, those waters ain't no good after they've had all kinds of blood running through them. We're gonna have to, there's gonna be some consecration rituals, you know?
Well, and we do have a source of pure water from the elemental plane of water. That's where all this stuff comes from, right? So we could, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to deal with water. We need that high level spell that nukes water, but I think it would take a whole bunch of castings. Destroy water? Let's see. Let me look that up. Because I don't think it wouldn't clean out a pool. Creator, okay, it's a first level spell. Destroy water, and it's, goodness, 10 gallons. Man, we'd need to buy like industrial quantities of wands of destroy water in order to get that stuff out.
Well, my thinking is, man, we have so many resources for income. It might be nice to just have a little island out in the abyss and just go chill and stuff, you know? I mean, we got a lot of generating ideas going on, so.
You know, okay. Well, and I'm still stuck on the micro engineering of how you deal with these pools of water, and now I'm thinking a gate. We cast gate at the bottom of the pool and have the other end be at the bottom of our moat, and poof, it drains out instantly.
That's fantastic.
There we go.
Like, where does the water go, you know? Like, why do we have it running off into the sea? We could be generating all kinds of stuff with this infinite water source. Man, we can have it going through a little turbine before it runs off the edge, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and if we actually seal up most of the connection to the astral plane of water, elemental plane of water, now I'm wondering what is the pressure? You know, can we create weaponized jets of water, or is it low pressure water?
Well, you know, pressure increases due to distance. If that shit keeps running off the edge of an island, it's gonna develop some force.
Oh yeah, we definitely have.
Velocity.
I'm wondering about the interface between the elemental plane and our moat. Now we have gravity. I mean, yeah, we can generate, we can do stuff with the waterfalls and stuff like that. But is there magic is interesting, and DMs probably hate me because I like to ask physics questions about magic.
And that's why you're so much fun to play with.
There's no answer.
I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, definitely gonna have to like repurpose that water thing for like plumbing and
Yeah.
developing like a little hygienic system right there on the island.
And it's probably easier to just get some dwarves and let them go, or gnomes even, and let them go crazy. Instead of us messing with it, we can hire skilled people to do that. I'm thinking water park. Part of this ought to be a water park with slides.
Yeah, I'm sure as the halfling, I'm thinking way too small. But yeah, the dwarves and the gnomes, they got it locked down. They can do all kinds of water pressure things.
And, we have more important things to do with our filthy rich time.
And also saving the universe, right? From crazy wizards.
Well, I've kind of been told that's off the table now, that it's already been done, so I'm just sort of chillaxing at this point.
But now it's the what ifs. It's the what ifs. Like, yeah, that disaster maybe was averted, but I mean, what about the next disaster?
Well, we're dealing with it now, which is that the farm realm is leaching into Waterdeep here, and they're going to take over Waterdeep. And I'm thinking, okay, so the universe is pretty safe now. I mean, Waterdeep falls. Well, okay, we've got our own moat, so screw it. We'll just take off. But we could sell this kind of information to adventurers that are looking to level up and gain experience, right? Hey, guys, for 1,000 gold pieces, here I can connect you up with a threat to Waterdeep. Go down to the 12th level, take a right.
Every time you make me realize how small I'm thinking.
we'll just use our blessings as PCs and sell off the opportunity to save the universe while we sit back in our resort-like homes.
Like a super halfling, I'm just in her library looking for a good fruit tune to play for her deck.
This whole thing has been really macabre. It's just like
Yeah, well, we're just putting them all to rest. Voluntary is preferable, right? We want them to voluntarily go to their rest. And I think we've done our best cleaning things up, keeping it really quick and short and simple, not, totally decimating the fucking corpses.
Mm-hmm. I think next time...
the bard can play a little song and put everybody at ease and put them to sleep, and we just fucking kill them.
Next...
They're done.
The next time that we mercy kill some NPCs, we probably need to have Norite or somebody ready in action to cast silence. Just to kind of keep the screams and all that crap down, so that the next of kin thinks that it was
Next time
nice
we try
and
to
peaceful.
mercy kill someone, maybe we should actually try to mercy kill.
I'm just saying one of them is already volunteering to die. You're welcome. They are willing to be put to death peacefully. The least they can do is play them a little song before they go, right?
Well, I'm wondering,
Yeah.
can we maybe, you have really good persuasion skills, can we talk her into buying an insurance policy with us as the beneficiary before we put her down?
Lord, let's just loot all of her shit. That's way simpler.
Well, I'm just thinking we're gonna do that anyway, but I mean, a 1,000,000 gold piece insurance policy. She's a highfalutin, noble type person that's lived for a long
You're
time.
right. You're absolutely right. We should see if there's anything we can do to send word to surviving relatives on the surface. That would be the right thing to do, is to let them know what became of their relatives.
We're gonna start a new business to go out and this is our Kevorkian business.
We killed them, but this is how you should honor them.
We don't have to say that we killed them. We just
We provide escort services to the next life.
Is that what you're calling it now?
It's almost an agreement to promote the good name of House Shadowdusk.
Yeah, I was saying that.
And they really wanted to do the right thing. They did not want us to come to darkness, and therefore their accolades should be touted on the
We're
surface.
saving them.
No one's willing to do this.
We're saving them from falling into disgraceful, evil and madness and stuff, right? So.
Exactly. And we're gonna make the passing as pleasant as possible.
So you finish your feast. So your plan was to cast sleep on her? Or is that?
Yes, I think the best thing would be to cast sleep, and then for someone to, I don't know, maybe Norite, suck all the damn life out of her.
So,
Yeah, sleep's not gonna work. Probably.
well, she,
Just
yeah,
because of the spell description.
right.
I
So,
for her that the name of House Shadowdusk will be redeemed on the surface. That he vows to sing their accolades and nothing but the nobility and the good intentions of their home.
so the question, so she is an archmage. So here's the problem with the sleep spell. It no longer requires a saving throw. The sleep does 5d8 damage. That if it does 5d8. If it does more than that, than their hit dice, then they fall asleep. She has 99 hit points.
Yeah, I mean, we can upcast it.
What if Telfar offered her an arrow coated in drow poison, and all she had to do was prick herself with it?
Okay, that would work, and she will forego she will willingly choose to not save against that.
But can she still feel the pain from it?
No.
Is it just...
If she dies quick enough, then we'll think that she doesn't feel the pain. That's the important part.
Well, I mean, literally, it's not like she doesn't have to stab herself with the arrow. She just has to, prick her finger with it.
Right.
So, yeah, she lays down on the bed. She takes an arrow from Telfar, pricks her finger, and within moments, she is asleep. And so you are going to have Norite do another
Max inflict wounds.
Another inflict wounds. Was
Would you please?
Was that the plan, Norite?
Yep, alright, I can do that.
Otherwise, Telfar and I can ready actions and simultaneously do stabs with sneak attacks, and we can get basically 4x.
Yeah.
What's 8 times 4 would be 32 d6 damage?
If she's unconscious and prone, I think that I can just kill her real fast with an inflict wounds. Is she asleep and prone?
Yeah, she is prone. You have advantage on the attack, and and it will do critical damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Telfar and I could get over 100 hit points of damage in one shot.
So you did 104?
Oh, that was just a check.
Oh.
If we both did our 8d6, so that's 2 8d6s, and both were crits, that'd be 32d6, and I just wondered what that comes out to be. In case the inflict wounds doesn't take, I'll ready
So that's still 16. I'm pretty sure I can just kneel down and...
Yeah, that gets her.
Okay. So, here we go.
I mean, barely, but yeah.
So 85 times 2 is more than 99.
Yes. So yeah.
There you go.
So
It's a long rest.
so Norite walks up to her, grabs her wrist, and at the very last minute before she dies, you see her eyes open, and as she's turning gaunt and pale, and she kind of lets out this last death gasp. But clearly, she woke up at the very end and then expired. And the Nothic comes back out through the secret door, and he's like, Is it over? Is it over?
It's over. It's over.
It's over for them. We still got stuff to do.
Where do you want to go from here?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can go down to the next level, but let's say, hey, Naughty the Nothic.
Yeah.
Where's the royal family keep all of their good stuff? Since we've gone complete psycho kill Rob here, we might as well just see what we got on this level.
He doesn't really know where the quote-unquote good stuff is.
Impressive stuff, or doors that they don't let you go through.
Well, he's pretty much allowed to go wherever he wants. He tells you that there's a fountain to the southeast.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll take a look at that, and then we'll go downstairs.
So he takes off and heads into room 12.
All right. What's this? What is this curtain?
So
Telfar's trying to decorate our new home and stuff. So.
Maybe all down here.
It's probably just got more of that tentacle motif, which is kind of getting to be overdone.
So it is a beautiful tapestry on the west wall. There's several sitting areas with comfortable chairs and side tables are arranged about the room. There's an empty bottle of fine wine standing on an end table next to a used wine glass. The tapestry depicts the original Shadowdusk hold, an impressive villa overgrown with ivy that stood in Waterdeep seaward until it was burned to the ground. The tapestry looks to be worth about 250 gold pieces and weighs 50 pounds.
I'll do
We gotta strap that in the bag.
Steal everything!
Especially the decorations. We got a lot of shit to decorate.
Yeah, the chairs sound nice. I'm gonna look at the that end table there and see if there's any like secret drawers in the end table. Then we'll move on to the.
No.
Okay.
No
So
secret
moving
door.
on to the fountain.
So the Nothic opens the southern door, and you can see that this hallway has 2 doors to the south and a set of double doors to the east. And the Nothic runs over to the double doors and says, the fountain is in here.
And I'll ask Naughty, any trick to opening the doors, or do you just go through?
He goes ahead and opens the doors.
Okay.
A low-walled marble fountain with a statue of an aboleth as its centerpiece dominates the room. Water spills from the aboleth's mouth and splashes noisily into the stone basin. Drain holes in the basin's rim prevent it from overflowing.
That's a little dark. An aboleth. I don't know if we want to decorate our new place with aboleths. Did people toss gold coins into the fountain?
Cancel, make an Arcana check. Is Cancel muted?
Well, 13.
So, on your Arcana check, you realize that the fountain, there's no source of water, but there's water coming out of this aboleth's mouth.
Telfar goes and stares the stone aboleth in the eyeballs. Flies up with his little wings and stares the statue down.
Nothing happens. Telfar, make an investigation check.
I can do that. Oh my. I should probably take expertise in that one of these days if I'm able.
I'll check for hidden stuff while we're
You
here.
said investigation?
Yes. Investigate check. So you go and you stare down the aboleth and nothing happens. It is really just a statue. However, inside the mouth of the aboleth, you can see where the water is coming out. Just inside the mouth, you can see the end of what looks like a jug or a decanter inside the mouth.
Well, Telfar's gonna reach his squirrely little tiny little halfling hands inside and try to wrangle it.
So you can't get it out. In order to get this thing out, you would have to completely destroy the statue.
Dwarves are good at that. I mean, it's stone, right?
Right. Marble.
I'll tell my friends I think there's a loop inside this head.
Hey, Norite, what do you think about this stonework here?
That's alright, but I think.
So, I mean, they must have put that thing in the stone somehow. It didn't just. So, how would you have done it? Do you think it's a hole in the bottom and then they lifted it and put the thing in place, or did they magic it in there?
They may have magic it in there. There is a way to do that, but.
Can you magic it out? I mean, it's stone. That's your thing, right?
I mean, you can whack it. You should give it a whack.
I can whack it.
You want to whack it? Make an attack.
Whack it carefully. Use your dwarven skills with a Z.
Yeah, you should do like a stonework check or something on it and find the best place to whack it to avoid, I don't know, whatever's inside the mouth.
Yeah, like a diamond. Whack.
Yeah, you can make a stone cutting check.
I think I will do that.
Okay. You can make a intelligence check with advantage.
22.
Okay. So you're able to determine where this decanter is, and you can make your attack with advantage to avoid destroying the decanter. So go ahead and make your attack.
And we'll give you guidance / bless, whatever is required. If it's a skill, guidance. If it's an attack roll like combat bless.
Yeah, it's just a regular attack roll.
Guidance at will.
And the statue has AC of 17 and 60 hit points.
So could I get sneak attack bonus on it if I like stabbed it from behind?
That would be nice.
Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And I'm using probably my magical +2 war pick,
Yeah.
which is war pick on one side, pickaxe on the other.
Right.
There we go.
It's just the weapon I picked that.
Make sure you do non-lethal damage because we don't want to hurt the object inside.
Okay. So that.
Also, you need to make Liam do a weight check one of these days.
Well, I'm thinking.
Damn, that motherfucker's got a lot of shit. He must be beefy AF.
Well, we got a bag of holding that has a 500-pound limit that's got at least 50 tons inside of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Besides, damn it, you know that's full of tapestries and pillows.
Every single one of those has been like horrifically heavy.
Every purple candle, every weird chandelier made out of bones and shit. Like, it's just a bag.
Did we stick the chairs in there? Those were nice chairs.
I mean, that-
Tables.
I honestly believe the entire purpose of the bag of holding was to get away from having to do all the math to figure out encumbrance rules.
The bag of holding is for getting away from doing the math for RRP shit.
Right.
All of the tapestries and candelabras.
Right.
And all the things. No, we're not carrying gear in there. No, we're carrying the core. We have 2 different taverns to outfit. Now we've got a whole fleet of galleys and a floating island. We're like, why you guys carrying around tapestries? Our shit looking broke.
We got bookcases in that secret room that we could take. You know, bookcases. There was one of the beds didn't burn. It's probably okay. It's probably,
We got a toss it. Put it in the bag.
we need a demi-plane of holding where we could just shove massive quantities of crap into the demi-plane and
I
then
mean, you really want to go with that.
that's what we need.
Whenever you cast the spell, it pops up the door to a shed.
Just eat, roll it up.
Just keep it next
You open it, it's like opening the door to my dad's shed when I was growing up, and everything's like fucking falling out of it and shit.
like the room of requirement from Harry Potter.
Yeah, there's like
Stuff is-
a tent and a lawnmower falling out, and like a couple of volleyballs. So, what'd you get for your damage, Norte?
23.
So it takes you a couple of rounds. It takes you about 18 seconds, and you're able to bust this aboleth statue in the center of this fountain down. And inside there is a decanter, an earthenware, like water or wine decanter. And it was tipped in such a way. It was tipped in such a way that water is coming out of it. And when you write it, you look inside and you don't see anything. It looks empty. But when you shake it back and forth, it sloshes like there's liquid inside.
I need to know.
It's a decanter of endless water.
I need to know. With a 28 Arcana check, can I tell if this is a creating magic item or a portal magic item?
It's a decanter of endless water, obviously.
Correct. Yeah, you are able to determine that this is indeed a decanter of endless water.
Okay.
This is big. This is great.
Well, I'm surprised. I thought there was just a clear tube that went from the fountain up to the top, and it was pumping water from the fountain back up.
That's the way I would have done it.
Yeah, just like those faucets that float up in the air.
Throw it in the bag. It's gonna ruin all the furniture.
Yeah, we need to cork this sucker, and then we can chuck it in the bag. Okay, well that was nice.
I was just making sure if it was a portal thing, which we wouldn't want to chuck in the portal bag.
Right, yeah.
Bad things happen when we check portal.
That's true, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, we're not even gonna take the chance.
catastrophic things happen when you do that.
We'll just hook it to our hip and carry on.
Magic creating water, not a portal water.
So there are these 2 doors to the south, and these are the only 2 doors that you haven't investigated on this tier.
As we walk by, I'll open the door to 14 and look in, see if there's any like piles of gold, but not really intending to do much except look in.
So when you
There's-
looking into 14, it looks like you found some kind of martial training room. There are 2 wooden practice dummies that stand near the east and west walls, and there are racks there are weapons and armor racks hang on the north wall, 1 to each side of the doorway. There are canvas mats stuffed with straw are spread out on the floor to create a sparring area in the middle of the room. On the armor rack, it has 2 shields and 2 suits of leather armor, studded armor, chain shirt, and plate armor. The weapon rack contains 1 matched pair of long swords, daggers, battle axes, quarterstaffs, warhammers, and spears. None of them are magic.
Oh, okay. Well, we're moving on. Unless it looks really fancy, but this was probably utilitarian for training.
Right. Leave all the white loot. We don't want that.
No, right, exactly, right. So, throw in door 13, lean in, take a look around.
So when you open the door to 13, come on here.
And I've readied an action to slam the door shut if there's something with a head that's bigger than my torso.
So it is not something with a head bigger than your torso. Come on here, let me find it.
Oh yeah, well, it's gonna shrink as soon as it falls to the ground. There we go. Ah! So as a free action, when I open it and see that, I'm gonna say, incoming!
Shuffling around in here is a zombie. And as soon as you open the door, just this stench of rot and decay assails your nose. The furnishings are moldy, and they include a bed, a desk strewn with yellowed papers, and a barren bookshelf. And this zombie is moving back and forth, shuffling around. And as soon as you open the door, it turns like brains and starts coming towards the door.
Slam the door shut.
Okay, you slam the door shut.
And I'm pulling on it hard, and I'm looking to see if there's a locking mechanism.
And so far I get the 34 on a hide.
Okay. Hold on here.
If the door has a locking mechanism, I'm wondering if I can use lockpick in reverse.
You theoretically could. So yeah, this zombie is bashing and clawing at the door, and there is a lock on the door.
Norite, hold this door while I lock it.
So okay, so Norite, make a strength check to hold the door shut.
Okay, I will do that. And that one, me, got it.
So yeah, Norte is able to hold this door shut. Aaron, go ahead and make your lockpick check.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Over 30.
Oh yeah, you pull out your lockpicks or thieves' tools, and you're able to. You hear click, and the door is locked shut, and the zombie is trapped inside.
Okay, moving on, guys. Let's go downstairs. Unless,
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, you've been everywhere else. So if you want to, there is a stairwell that goes down to the next tier at the north end of this hallway.
I'll chalk zombie on the door before we head out.
Okay. As a warning to other adventurers, zombie. All right. So let me gather you guys together here. Where did Aaron go?
Oh, I'm by the stairs. Here, I'll move me. There we go.
All right. Here we go.
Did Naughty have a name?
Ramagant.
Ram again.
But he does not remember his name.
Oh, okay. So we'll call him Naughty.
Yeah, that works as well.
Let's just not call him his name for good measure.
Well, he doesn't even know it, so whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't. He has no recollection of who he was or what he was doing. Done here. So the Nothic runs to this door and is scratching at the door. You see that there is a passage that goes to the east, and there's a door, and there's, of course, the door to the south.
Well, I mean, we might as well follow the Nothic. There's no, we have no reason to pick one over the other, right?
Not really, not particularly, no.
Telfar takes the path less traveled by and goes to snoop around.
Okay. All right. So the Nothic opens up the southern door. And he kind of bursts into the room, and he kind of just tucks himself into this corner. Well, it's a round room, but he's a Nothic, so he'll find a corner. And he's looking around this edge here to the west. This room, there's stone pillars that support a flat 40-foot high ceiling. And you notice, everybody make a perception check. Well, Aaron, Norte, and Cancel make perception checks.
It looks like 26 for me.
Okay.
This doesn't allow me to. I don't have time to apply guidance, so it's just 26.
Okay. What did Cancel get?
5.
Oh boy. And Norte. You got a 16. Okay. So Norte and Aaron, you realize that sound in this chamber is amplified. You can hear a whispered voice or soft footstep as far away as 20A, B, or B. And you can hear, like the Nothic, you can hear his breathing. All dexterity stealth checks to move silently in this area will be made with disadvantage. from 20C, looking west, you see
Pillars.
yeah, lots and lots of pillars.
But not the soft kind that you can rest your head on at night.
Yeah, you see that this room is 40 feet high. There's a very flat ceiling that's held up with these pillars, and you can see that the central chamber of this room, you can see that there is a raised dais here with a set of double doors, and but other than that, you don't see anything else in the area.
Okay. We'll let Telfar take the stage for a minute.
Okay. Telfar, you open the door to 16A. You see that this room has been blasted with fire. There are burned shelves and racks. The walls are lined with burned bookshelves and scroll racks, charred furnishing. The remains of 3 padded chairs and 3 coffee tables lie atop badly burned